Okay, man, this is going to be the first video in the hobby grade thread. Um, I'll kind of go over what I've done so far and where I'm going and what I'm going to do today and stuff like that. So for guys that have already made the switch to hobby grade or those that aren't really interested in the switch to hobby grade, this will probably get pretty boring. But if you're like me and you want to have at least a couple of your tanks running on a really good hobby grade radio, then you might be able to learn something from this. And I know I'm learning a lot of stuff doing the video and the whole project in general. So I'm going to do two tanks. I'm going to do one in airsoft and one in IR. They're going to run on a Turnigy 9X radio. Okay, that's the first thing, is the radio. I bought the 9X from Hobby King, and then I had to learn about firmware, and I had to learn how to flash the tank ER9X. Now there's videos all over the web about how to do that stuff, but if anybody really gets into this and they want to private message me or whatever, or ask on this thread for any specifics about any of the stuff that I've done or how I did it, that's fine. Go ahead. And also, in the background, you're going to see a lot of different stuff that's involved in different projects if you're paying attention. Like, well, let's see. Okay, here's the 200-liter drums that we've been working on. These are metal headlights that I put the warm white 3mm LEDs in. One's going on the Og Panther, one's going on the Panther. Yeah, those are the LEDs that Norm sent me. Like back here, these are the resistors that I use for the smoke units. There's just all kind of stuff laying around here because, as usual, the bench is a mess. So you might as well get used to that. It's always going to look like that. It has for 30 years. Don't think it's going to change now. But if you see anything in the background that interests you and you want to ask about it, that's fine. I won't consider it off topic or anything like that. It's all part of the upgrade kind of deal. And so anyway, to get back to the subject, this is the S33. This is my airsoft Tiger. Started out as an IMX Tigen all plastic Tiger 1. I got it at my local hobby shop for 200, 250, right in there someplace. Mike in Kentucky sent me the decals for it. I did the paint. You've seen it in a lot of mods before this. I put the metal road wheels on. What I've done so far for the hobby grade video is, now this is an RC2TG from RC Tanks Australia. That's the company that I'm working with for my pretty much my entire hobby grade video. And the guy down there is Kevin Granum. And this guy is just fantastic. I've got so much respect for this guy. He has walked me through all the stages of this stuff. He's put up with all my crap. He's been so patient. He's never abandoned me. He's stood behind his products right from the word go. I can't say enough good things about Kevin. He's my guy. Him and Eric Edwards are probably the two people that have been the most help to me in this hobby. They've both just been absolutely fantastic, and I can't thank them enough. So anyway, back to this subject. What I've done so far is I got the radio, got the receiver. This is the RC2TG board that I installed. This allows me to use the 9X radio with the Tigen motherboard. Okay, so far I've put in the RC2TG and I got it all running. I've done a couple little videos on that in the preview stuff. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to do this in installments or if I'll just wait till I got it all together and then post it all at once. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But I put in the RC2TG. Everything's working great. I've got LiPo batteries on the way. This is a Viper. This gives me volume control on my transmitter. It's truly plug and play. You plug one end into the receiver, you plug the other end into your MFU, and bam, you're on channel 6 for volume. That's the pot right here on the top. This is now my volume control. That also means that the other mod that I did to move my volume control and my smoke on and off switch up under the driver's hatch, these will disappear. I won't have this anymore, and it'll just be out of the way. The smoke unit is part of what I'm going to do today. Today I'm going to remove the RC2TG. I'm not going to do it on camera. I'll take pictures and add it to the thread. I'm going to remove the RC2TG so that underneath it I can place a Komodo. That's the anti-track recoil device. Now, one thing I like about Kevin's system is that you don't have to lay out a whole lot of money at first to get started. Once you've got your radio, you can start with the RC2TG. with shipping. I think I got free shipping on this one. But anyway, it was like $40. It's not a big deal to jump into it once you got your radio. The radio comes with the receiver, and that's really the only board you need to get going. Then you can add other boards as you go along. The Komodo was about $20. That gets rid of my track recoil. The Viper, I think, don't quote me on this, I think it was $19. That gets me my volume. The relays are $4 something a piece. That'll get me my smoke on and off, and then later I might go with headlight on and off. I'm still considering if I really need that. And you can just, like I said, you can just add the little boards as you go, and I think that's really great. That's how I've been doing it. One of the boards that might be here today or tomorrow is the Gecko, and that's going to give us proportional speed control for our turret rotation, and it's also going to give us up and down gun elevation on the left stick of the radio without having to go through the whole cycle that the Tigen system currently has. So that's pretty much where I've gotten to so far. And like I said, today I'm going to mount the Viper. I'm going to do just like Eric did and put it right on the side of my receiver, just because that, for me, that worked out to be a really good place. I got to run down to the hobby store and get some more of this. Eric uses the Velcro a lot, but I've been using this, the Scotch mounting squares. They're foam, they're sticky enough to hold everything in place, but you can still pull them on and off at least 2 or 3 times before you have to replace them. They remove easy if you have to. I'm not sure about cost, but just about any place will have this, from Walmart to Kmart to wherever's, you know, any place where they've got any kind of office supplies, especially like Office Max or whatever. You'll be able to pick this stuff up. I got to get some more of that. I'm going to probably pick up some Y adapters in anticipation of the Gecko arriving, because I'll need them for that. So anyway, since I have a little vacation time, I got the next 4 days off, and I'm going to take the RC2TG out. I'm going to mount the Komodo underneath it. I don't know if this was by design or just by good luck, but the way it turned out was that these posts in the IMX Tiger 1, these two were originally for the volume switch and the smoke on-off switch, but it just worked out just great that they fit just perfect. And what's holding this board in place is these wide head screws, and I've just got to kind of got the edge of the board pinched in between the flange on the screw and the top of the post. And it holds everything in place really good. I mean, it's nice and sturdy in there. It's not going to move or go anywhere. And there's enough room underneath it that I'm pretty sure I can put the Komodo down underneath there on sticky tape and then put the RC2TG back on top. I'll mount the Viper to the receiver. I'll get the Komodo in and I'll wire it up. And then I'm also going to put in one of these. Now, this is a relay because the RC2TG board won't handle the kind of voltage that you've got to have to run a smoke unit. So you have to go with a relay where you use a little bit of power from the board to control the relay, which turns on and off the power to the smoke unit. I'll have that on a normally closed circuit so that the smoke unit will be on when I turn the tank on, but then if I want to turn it off, I can. Now, I'm thinking about mounting it back here behind the battery. I'm still going to have to look into that and see where it goes. I'm going to have to run the wires to the smoke unit, and the way I'm going to do that is that now Kevin's got videos that'll tell you how to run the wires from the relay to the RC2TG board. Now, most of his videos on this subject right now are all about the RC5HL, which is for the Heng Long tanks. So I'll get a hold of him and see. He might do a new video for us, or he might already have one. Kevin's really great about stuff like that. When I was asking about putting caps on the Komodo, he did a special video just on that because he knew it would be useful not only to me, but to a lot of his other customers. The guy's really great about customer service, and like I said, he's just so patient and so knowledgeable and skillful. I can't believe all the stuff he's taught me just through emails, because obviously he's in Australia and I'm in Detroit. So anyway, I'll get the relay mounted, and Kevin's got the videos that'll show you how to wire it to the RC2TG. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plug out. This is the plug that goes to the on-off switch for the smoke unit, and I'm going to make a jumper to put in there so that the switch will just always be turned on, and then I can use the power output for the smoke unit right from the motherboard, and I'll run it through the relay so that my smoke unit will be turned on and off through the transmitter, and I can get rid of this switch. But if I ever want to go back, you know, I can. All I'd have to do is pull the jumper out and reattach the switch, and I'd be back on the MF or the Tigen system. So that's the plan for today. get the Komodo in, get the Viper mounted, get the relay mounted and installed. A little bit more about the tank. It's got the 4-shaft black steel gearboxes. They're the ones that are bearing at the axle but bushing at the gear shafts. And other than that, like I said, it's pretty much just a stock tank. I've got the receiver for the 9X, which I might want to change. The 9X, one thing about the 9X that I didn't know that's bad is that it's not capable of model matching. And until recently, I didn't even know what the heck that was. But model matching is where you can have, say you've got 3 different tanks on your radio. You can turn them all on. Then you can go to your radio and go to tank 1, turn it on, drive it around, park it, turn the ignition off, turn the ignition on to tank 2, drive that around, park it, turn that ignition off, turn the ignition on for tank 3, drive that around, etc. And go back and forth from tank to tank. Right now I can't do that with the 9X. If I've got both tanks turned on and I hit engine start, they'll both start up and they'll both run, regardless what model I have set or what tank I have set in the model selection. Because this this radio will hold up to like 16 different tanks. But to do the model matching, I'm going to have to change the module in the back. Now they've got a do-it-yourself kit for that so that you don't end up with 2.4 gig antennas, and it just basically replaces the module in the 9X. And that's probably the way I'm going to go, because it's only about $20 to do that. But if you buy the module itself, it's more than twice the price. So that's where we are right now. And if I decide to post this in installments, this will be the first video up. And like I said, any questions, comments, if you are interested in Hobbygrade and you are following these videos, then please make a post just to let me know that you're out there so that I know who's watching. Because a lot of you guys I already know, and I know what kind of tanks you got. And if I know who's watching, I can kind of, in the future, tailor my videos a little bit so that they'll be better for you and you'll get more out of them. I'm having a lot of fun doing the videos, and I'm learning so much stuff from this hobby. If I had started this hobby when I was 15 years old, instead of, getting into all the hippie stuff, I'd be Bill freaking Gates right now. I'm telling you, the education has been that extensive. So anyway, that's the first one, and we'll see how it goes. See you next time.